this one. This type of stack is either a larger or same size, thick crash type cymbal.
We have to put a tightener on.
With a Kang top. And that's like a small china. Now the Portnoy style has the Kang up. So these guys are a bit of a stick eater.
So it gives you a really trashy sound.
So now you just heard tight and loose. So there's, with stacks, how much you tighten down is going to change a lot. So you get your staccato, your thicker staccato, and your more open, hat type of thing. So that's your more a staccato but a thicker stack.
Where's yours?
Me, this is my favorite stack, which is a super quick dry stack. So I once
wrong bag.
Yeah, I once tried to make. I had these three cymbals, three 10-inch cymbals. One was a splash, one was a Kang, and one was a China splash. And I tried to permutate all three of them in every possible up and down variety. I made my wife sit through it, and she's never ever let that go, by the way.
She must really love you, man.
Yeah, she still mentions that. But what I came to was this idea of an inverted Portnoy stack. So this is the Portnoy stack, which is, if you want to hold that, which is a splash down.
2 mics.
Splash down, China up, both in their traditional clinical positions. Just the same that Nigel was playing. So it sounds, I don't know if I've got a topper there, yeah. It sounds
It's better.
like that, tinny or a little looser. So after playing around for a while, I had this idea of like what I call like a cup stack. So taking this layout and flipping it around a little bit. So the splash, so this is the traditional, right? The splash goes upside down. The China goes upside down, and then it nestles in to the body like that. And this gives you this really quick, but tight and tasty, really short type of sound. Which, again, on its own, if you show your band leader that stack, they're going to say, God, that thing's awful, it's terrible. But if you start to add it into like a groove or whatever, which I'll haphazardly try to play here, you get this cool kind of, you know. That kind of thing, right? So it gives you a really cool, like almost like an off hi-hat sound.
Like a trashy hat, almost.
And also the kind of thing you can use in the midst of a fill. So, you know, if you're in... You know, just you can kind of throw it into the middle of a lot of that stuff, and it'll just work.
Becomes very tasty.
By the way, my 9-inch splash just converted.
Hey! Because it's thin.
Don't try this at home.
Because it's thin.
Gotta clamp it right. So yeah, that's kind of the quick stack.
Any questions on any of that stuff right now? Was that cool, like the stacker stuff?
Yeah.
You know, spend a lot of time actually going through different combinations of stuff and stackers and everything like that.
So another crazy one I'll show you guys, if I can steal that 18, is the Little Big stack. So this is where I'll show it to you. So this is where you put a splash inside of a big, much bigger china, and so then that open china sound gets like just a little trashier. Sounds pretty much like the china, but you get just that little bit of extra sizzle. It's almost like a sizzle china stack. So you can use it as a traditional, you know, crash kind of instrument. You know, so. Or you can almost kind of ride it like a dirty stack ride.
Cool.
And then last, I'll let Nigel show you guys what we call the Weckel stack.
The Weckel stack. Let's do the ozone and the ozone China.
This is this will be, now what is the Weckel stack? So it's a 14 from me.
And it's on an evolution, but we can put it on the ozone. You take your 14 evolution, put it on the
Let's do
ozone.
that. So you want to put it on, sorry.
Where is the ozone
Why don't we
anyways?
put on this HHX?
Which HHX? Sure, what, the Legacy? No, that's kind of tight. Put on this one then. That's a 17. Because you need the extra lip.
So this is, I'll let Nigel rock it just for a second, the Wackle stack. So it's kind of like the Port
Similar.
Boy, but it's a much bigger china and a bigger, even bigger cymbal. Usually he would do this with like a 19 and a 14. Let's be gentle with that. Just on the
See how I get that different sound off of that stack, right? I actually like this on top of an ozone, which is the one with the holes on it, just to create a different stack sound. Hey. So there's so many combinations, and you know, Matt and I have gone through so many combinations and trying to figure out what we like and what we don't like.